Way of the Warrior, your MMA show, UFC 136. It is this weekend on the line right now. The champ is here. Frankie Edgar is joining us. He'll be taking on Gray Maynard. Frankie, how are you?
I'm good, man.
So last time we spoke, we were getting ready for part 3, and then that didn't happen. We're now back to part 3. Is it hard to go all the way through a camp like that and have to restart and kind of get yourself geared up again for this third frame with Maynard?
Yeah, it's tough. I pretty much made it through my whole camp. I got down to, I believe, the last 3 weeks of my last camp, and you always kind of want to, have that, I guess, the pinnacle of the camp to come through, and that's the fight itself, and that didn't happen. So, that was definitely a downside of it. But I got 2 camps of improvement, behind me now.
And when you went in for the improvement, was round 1 of the second matchup? Is that kind of what you focused on to start off with?
Definitely the whole fight, but obviously round 1, he caught me with a nice shot, so we definitely addressed that area. But Gray did a good job of timing it. It's not always that. I could definitely fix it. I just got to keep him guessing.
Absolutely. It's UFC 136. It is coming up this Saturday night. Gray Maynard, Frankie Edgar going at it one last time, at least we hope one last time, for the championship. How excited are you going to be when this whole scenario in your life is over?
Yeah, it's going to be nice to move on. Obviously, I had the loss to Gray, so he was kind of always lurking in the back of my mind. But then, once I had the fight in January came up, I was preparing for him for probably 3 or 4 months, and then the last fight that didn't happen in this fight. So, man, it's been probably over a year, that I've been, thinking about Gray every day, preparing for him every day. Is
there anyone out there, Frankie, that you're excited to test yourself against since you've had... there's a lot of guys that have flooded into the division that you haven't had a chance to fight because you've been with Gray for, like you said, a year.
Yeah, no one in particular, man. There's so many good guys right now. The 55, the division, I believe, is one of the most stacked and most tightly contested. So, it's been tough to steer away from thinking about Gray, obviously, just because, he's in my next fight.
And then, like I said, UFC 136, it is this weekend. Frankie Edgar going to be taking on Gray Maynard for the 3rd time. Is there anything heading into this fight that you think he has the advantage over because of the draw? No, I don't think so, man. Every fight's different. Obviously, especially 10 months apart, it's going to be a totally different fight. I don't think anything that happens because of, since it was a draw is going to give anybody really an advantage in this fight. Do you think it's weird how much time people are dedicating, even in the countdown show, making each one of you guys justify which one won the fight? Since we have a 3rd fight already scheduled, isn't it time for the universe to kind of let that go and let's see what happens on Saturday night?
Yeah, it's silly, man. And, I know that's definitely one way to market the fight, but, I'll be honest with you, I've forgotten about whether I won or lost. I put that behind me, man. If he wants to dwell on if he won that last fight, that's fine. I'm just going to worry about winning this next fight.
Frankie Edgar is joining us. UFC 136. It is this weekend. An absolute stacked card. Jose Aldo is going to be taking on Kenny Florian and Brian Stann and Chael Sonnen. Either of those fights look interesting to you, or are you just going to be focusing on... You're obviously going to focus on your main event, but when it's over, will you go back and watch either of those fights?
I will, man. Obviously, Brian Stann, he's like Mr. America. Chael Sonnen's like, the mouth of America. So that's definitely intriguing to watch, see how that plays out, man. And obviously, I'm a big fan of Aldo and Florian. Florian was, a contender at 55 for quite a long time. So I'm interested to see how he matches up with Aldo.
Now, Frankie, let me get your take on this, because the Ultimate Fighter using lighter weight classes, they're thinking about adding 125. We saw some amazing fights over the weekend at 145. Talk a little bit about how this weight class, 155 and down, has really become the most exciting things going on in the world of mixed martial arts, and especially with the Fox deal coming, what that's going to mean for your weight class and below.
Yeah, we're just high-paced, high-energy guys. Us little guys, we pay a lot of attention to technique. Because you have to, because everyone is as fast and athletic in our weight classes. And it's very dynamic. You're going to see a lot of different styles, I think, in our weight classes as well.
Well, what I mean, Frankie, is when you look at, let's say, when we go to Denver, we have 2 heavyweight bouts on the card that are really slow and plodding, and I know the common assumption is that heavyweight fights sell, but then you see a guy like Ferguson out of Muskegon put on this amazing performance that doesn't get on the main card. Now, I'm not saying that he deserves to be on the main card, but
it's fascinating to me how time and time again, from 125 to 155, your fights never fail to deliver.
No, I agree. Obviously, just go back to, the early boxing days, the heavyweight title was, the most prestigious title. I just think that's the way, America looks at it. But, now you're seeing a little change that in boxing as well. You see Pacquiao, Mayweather, these guys are pretty much the headliners. So, you're going to see a lot of big stars in the lower weight classes, man.
It's this weekend, UFC 136. You will not want to miss it. Hands down, the best card so far in the UFC, save for January, even though we didn't get to see the finale that we wanted, Frankie. But we hope to see it this weekend as you take on Gray Maynard for a third and final time to defend your belt and move on. Frankie, we wish you the best of luck and look forward to seeing you in the cage on Saturday night.
Thanks so much, guys.
Take care.